Okay. All right. Your audio is up, so you can go ahead and start telling the
right.
story.
Here's what happened. I'm working in Chicago for Lee, and one day I just I'm on the air one day during the week, and I go in the studio, and Andy Laird is in the studio, and I go in. I say, "Hey, man." I say, "Hey, Andy." He said, "Hey, how you doing, guy?" I said, "Man, I thought I was hallucinating." I said, I came in there, and I think it was if I recall, I'm almost sure, I'm positive. It was the wintertime. It was snowing.
I think it was.
It was the wintertime. It was snow outside. So I associate Andy Laird with K-Day, palm trees, that kind of thing. Andy Laird is in WBMX. He's in there with doing technical engineering stuff. And I mean, Lee had the man. I said, wow.
The audio technician of the world.
This man had K-Day sounding, and this is before, this is many years before they even did any kind of perfecting or had, they later came with AM stereo. Andy Laird had K-Day sounding like it was stereo in the 70s.
Yeah,
I'm talking about in the 70s, man.
That's true.
I used to get calls from people in San Francisco.
That's right.
I used to get people from across the water. Hey, mate. I mean, I used to get all kind of calls.
That's true.
At night.
Hawaii,
everywhere. I'm everywhere, man. Unbelievable. All because of Andy Laird. Andy Laird, you are the man.
Still,
No doubt.
I'm sure.
No doubt about it. I said, Lee said, I know what to do. I know who to call.
You got to call in the experts. You got to really know what they're doing.
I know who to call. I know who to call. I'll get Andy Laird in here.
That's
Man,
it.
BMX, which is now V103, was kicking. Man, they were kicking.
Yeah,
they were kicking.
It had an incredible sound because he brought in a box that added a sub bass.
Right.
Like today you have subwoofer speakers.
Right.
Well, he had a device. It was a DBX unit. And that thing had sub bass on it.
Hey, look, me and Steve Gunn used to joke all the time. When I'd come in there to relieve him or something, I said, flip my DBX on. I said, flip my DBX on so I can get this big rascal up in the air.
That's right.
I was acting like a pilot.
Right. Yeah.
Right, man. Yeah.
But see, that kind of energy and involvement is missing today.
Oh, man, that was too funny. My DBX, that was too funny. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I used to joke about that. I said, is my DBX on?
That's right.
I said, I got to have my DBX on before I crack the mic. My DBX got to be on. Give me some bass. Give me some bass in this place. Oh, that was too funny, Lee. Nobody, I mean, I had never even heard of a DBX. I said, what is that?
Yep.
Man.
Sub bass made
right.
by DBX.
Yeah, man. Andy Laird was the man.
Now, can you imagine having that on now with the subwoofers and stuff that they have in cars now? That would be crazy.
Right.
Your speakers probably wouldn't be able to handle it.
Nah, man.
Hey, I'm getting ready to bring you on
I was listening to guys like in Atlanta. I was listening to a guy this morning on the way to the airport. Young Jock. His name is Young Jock, Mo Quick, and Shouty. I said, man. What? I said, man, are you
what was that?
Me, Young Jock, Mo Quick, and Shouty.
And Shouty.
I said, man. I said, here we are in 2018. I can remember days like when I was a kid. Black jocks had cartoonish, jacked up names. When we were coming up, like all kind of, they would never use their own name. It'd be like Soul Man,
Soul Papa,
the Bebopper,
right?
All kind of like cartoonish names.
Shakespeare,
right? All kind
Hot
of
Dog,
right.
the great
King Hot Dog,
right.
Right. So they never use their real name. So now we've got Young Jock, Shouty, and Mo Quick. Mo Quick. I said, man, are you serious? You know.
What do you think it's going to take to get creative radio back in the saddle?
Right. And I'm all for creative, man. God knows I am. I'm all for it. And I don't hate even like a lot of the rappers. I respect a lot of them because, you know, they're happening. Some people don't like it. I said, you know, it is what it is. You know, people didn't like the Beatles or didn't like a whole lot of stuff that we came up with.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's
so
true.
Stuff changes.
It does.
So you got to change with the times. So I'm cool with that.
Right.
I'm cool with that. And you know, people like Chris Brown. I think Chris Brown is a super talented guy. No doubt about it. I think he's super talented. I think he can sing, dance. Drake is another super talented guy. I think these guys are talented. They're super talented.
Yeah.
They can sing. I think Chris Brown could probably be bigger than he is.
What would that take?
He's got to clean that act up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Got to clean that act up.
Yeah, I think his public image or persona needs to work on that.
Right. But a lot of these guys don't have management.
True.
They're basically flying by the seat of their pants, and they're calling their own shots.
That's true.
And that's why they get in so much trouble and so much foolishness hops off because there's no protection around them.
Yeah.
They're calling their own shots, who they want around them. And a lot of guys want yes men around them.
Yeah.
Because they don't want anybody to say, hey, man, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You know, nah, man. You know.
Yeah, it's kind of out of control, and I think a lot of them are living the true hip hop life and forgetting about reality.
Right.
And all the bling bling and stuff we see in the videos, and you know, with the champagne and the diamonds and the half naked chicks and all that. They live that for real.
Right.
And I think that's part of the poison that's hurting a lot of them from an image standpoint.
Right. But, I mean, truth be told, there's nothing, my mom used to say, there's nothing new under the sun.
Well, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, George Clinton used to do some wild stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I know that I've witnessed some of that stuff.
You were at the party?
You know, I've witnessed some of that stuff. You know, hey, let me tell you something. When I first came to L.A., George Clinton told me to come to Charlie Basilini's house, who was managing him at the time.
Right.
And he lived in Hollywood Hills. I was living in the hills. JJ was living in the hills.
Right.
But I'm living there because it's the hills.
Right.
I'm from the East Coast. I'm saying, where else you gonna live? So I get off the air and I go there. I knock on the door to Charlie Basilini's house, and the door is ajar. And the door just opens. The door opens, and it's like, you gotta realize, and this is like maybe my second week in LA or something like that.
Right.
You know, all I know about LA is what I've read about in Playboy and all that kind of stuff. So the door goes ajar, it opens, goes, and lo and behold, it's like Sodom and Gomorrah in there. I mean, what? Are you kidding me, man? All I saw was nakedness. I'm talking about all kind of nakedness going on, man.
No.
So George says, "Come on in and partake." You know what I did, man?
You moonwalk.
I did the moonwalk out. I moonwalked out of there.
Probably
I ain't no punk now. I ain't no punk,
right,
but I wasn't ready for that, man.
Right, yeah. You hadn't been there long enough.
I wasn't ready for no exhibition like that. Are you kidding me, man? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It's too much slanging going on in here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I said, oh, no, man. I said, whoop, 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 whoop. I said, let me walk out of here. I was just too wild for me. I said,
yeah. I mean, you came in from what, Baltimore,
right?
Yeah, that was a whole
man,
different scene.
Like, you know, you read about orgies and stuff like that, but you
never thought you would.
Never thought you would actually witness one.
Yeah.
And all, man, give me a break. I said, "Are you kidding
Well, just
me?"
think. Okay, so that was back in what, the 70s?
70s.
Now, just think now, the way the lifestyle is today. I mean,
Right.
it's like on steroids now.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Oh
way out of
yeah,
control.
man. Oh yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. It's right. Just think about what's going on today.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. With the
Right.
new narcotics that they
Right.
have out today.
Right.
Scary.
Scary,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, it is. It
Right.
is. It's off the chain.
Right.
And the music is so explicit and detailed. I mean, it's no filter at all.
Right.
It's amazing. And what's really amazing, it blows my mind. You know, I do Uber and Lyft, and I pick up 5 or 6 white kids, and they want to play the music in the car. And so I give them the cord and they plug in, and the first song's got the N-word all
Right.
over it.
Right.
And they're calling each other that.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
the same with the Latinos,
Right.
blacks. I mean, everybody.
Right.
Everybody.
Right.
And so sometimes I'll get a bunch of people in the car, and I say, well, what kind of music you guys like? One group, one guy said country, rock, hip-hop, and EDM. So there's 4 different genres of music. I said, okay, so what do y'all want to hear? I mean, give me one at a time, and I'll, because I got XM radio, I got everything. So we ended up going to Hip Hop Nation, which is the Raw channel on XM, unfiltered. They were happy.
Right.
And this was a bunch of white guys.
Oh, yeah.
5 white guys.
Oh yeah, man.
And they were
They're
reciting the lyrics and everything,
right,
so they
of
know
course.
it.
They know the lyrics better than we do.
That's right.
Right.
So is that the new pop music? The hip hop?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, you can pull up beside people in a car. I mean, white people.
Yeah.
So you pull up beside
And that's what's
white
bumping.
people. What will blow your mind?
Yeah.
And I mean, they don't look like. I mean, they don't have to look crazy or anything like that.
No.
This is what they're playing, man.
That's true.
I'm talking. I mean, I've seen a couple. I've seen a couple in their ride.
Right.
They look like a straight couple.
Right.
And I hear the music they're playing and listening to.
It's
and
amazing.
I said, man, you think they're gonna be looking hip hopish? They don't look hip hopish, but that's what they're listening to. I said, man, you tripping if you don't think, yeah, man. They got it going on. They're,
Is that a bad thing?
I don't think it's a bad thing.
No.
I don't think it's a bad thing. No, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think as time marches on, I think they'll eventually get the idea and get the message, man, that they need to really talk about something, with some substance, as opposed. And it's okay to talk about booty and all that. It's okay to, because I mean we had shake your booty or whatever. I get that.
Yeah.
But it's just I think it cheapens. They just cheapen the whole deal the way they just trash women. They kind of really trash women.
Yeah, that
and it's not
bothers me.
straight.
Yeah.
That's not straight. That's got to change.
Right.
That's got to change.
Yeah, there's no filter on that.
But the thing is, although, I mean, I've been in clubs and seen where they call the women independent bees and all that, and the women are
They're cool with it.
they're cool with it, waving the flag and saying, yeah. I need to be. I need to be with our own independent bee. I need an independent bee. Here I am. Yeah, what I mean. So I mean, what you gonna do? What you gonna do with that? What you gonna do? You gonna say, hey, you need to stop this kind of they're not gonna receive that. They're not gonna receive that.
Yeah, they're happy with
They're
it.
happy with it. So you're gonna have to, I think, spoon feed people something different and something new. Not that it's new, but you have to spoon feed them to get them off that steady diet of hitting them in the head to where they've. I mean, you don't have any class, man.
Yeah.
Come on, now you gotta have some class.
See, back in the day, when we came along, there was rock and roll music, there was R&B music, pop music, and we enjoyed and consumed all of it. But not necessarily did it consume our lives. And I never tried to live that lifestyle, but I think with the influence of the music videos has ramped that whole thing up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not reality, it's a video. It's a short form movie, if you will. But there are people who think that's the way it really is. Mm-hmm. And in some cases, some of these pop artists and hip hoppers, they do live like that. I don't know if it's 24/7 or not because I don't hang around with them like that. But I think that's where the rub gets a little rough when the young, impressionable minds think that I need to go to L.A., I need to go to New York or wherever, Miami, and present myself in that fashion, then I can blow up. Then I can be successful. Everybody will know me because I got this big round booty and I know how to shake it and I'm the best twerker in the world. I got the flyest tattoos on my butt. That's where I go.
Right.
No, that's wrong. You don't need to do that.
Right.
Let's see. Susan Land says, today's lyrics worry me. The vocabulary is unnecessary. I agree with you, Susan. I agree. It lacks respect for everyone. It bothers me that it is the new normal. And see, that's exactly how I see it as well. Is that the new normal? Have we lowered the bar so low that even the cats trying to do the limbo can't get under that bar anymore?
They're trying to do the limbo.
unless you're a snake.
Right.
You're down the snake level now.
Right. I was watching, here's something I picked up on. And for the person just said that this is a new norm and about the lyrics. Mm-hmm. Michael, what's his name? Michael Kenneth Williams did a documentary on HBO, and he hit the nail on the head, and I totally agree with him. Here's what he said. We lead. Here's where the problem exists, and I've witnessed it firsthand. The problem exists with music and society and our children, our youth coming up the way. See, this system is on automatic pilot. If we don't, and I've gone to schools and talked on career day and talked to elementary schools, high schools, middle schools. I've talked to let me tell you something. The middle schools were the worst classes or schools I went to.
Really?
Now, they're young.
Right.
They're out of control. And if I go to, doesn't matter what school, what middle school I went to, if I ask them, anybody in your family that's currently incarcerated, in your immediate family, or is there anybody in your family that you know who's incarcerated? Mm-hmm. All of them stood up. So all of them stood up, Lee. So what I'm telling you, this is a fact, Lee. This is not something I read. This is something I observed and did my own research on. Every one of them, if it's not their mom or dad, it's somebody in their family who's being incarcerated. So it's the new norm because this is the new norm for us. You understand what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
You see what I'm getting at? Yeah. This is the new norm for us. And until we break that cycle and start mentoring kids like people like yourself, me, start mentoring kids to show them, hey, look. And guess what, man? Again, that's why I'm really, I guess, light as far as trying to change, I'm not trying to square them up, Lee.
Right.
I'm not trying to make them square because I don't want to be around squares. So, but what I'm just trying to get them to do is they've got to see a person like you who's got a radio station in the business, several different formats right here. They got see. if they don't see that kind of stuff, all they see in their neighborhoods, Lee, are crack dealers and drug dealers, weed smokers, and this kind of. See, they don't have anything to really look forward to if that's all they see. They don't have friends that are going to med school or have the concept of even thinking about if they could ever go to med school or law school or anything like that. All they see is, guys, hey, man, go make this run for me right quick. I'll give you $25, man.
Right.
$25, it's a lot of money for a kid,
meals for
a kid that doesn't have, doesn't have a job.
That's true.
So, and you keep making, and then you run that, you do that. You don't know what you're doing yet.
Right.
But the money comes, is able to put you in a position to where you can do things you couldn't do before.
That's right.
So now, as you get accustomed to that money, then the cost goes up as far as things that you're running and doing that you had no knowledge of what you were doing.
That's right. Now you have access.
Now I'm going to up it and have you running some serious stuff and still not tell you what you're doing. And I'm going to give you $100, because you're a kid.
Right. You're hooked.
So now you're doing that. You're not doing the drugs, but you're doing the
delivery.
Yeah.
And that's how they get them hooked. You establish a habit and an expectation.
You establish that money thing.
That's right.
These kids come from the ghetto, man. They don't have anything. They don't have that. It's not like they. And we've got to break that cycle to where they don't get our children. Because let me tell you something. Prisons are big business.
Oh, huge.
And that they're going to keep building them, Lee.
That's right. They're privately owned.
They're privately owned. They're going to keep building them for our children.
That's right.
That's a fact.
Okay, so I'm going to ask this question, and we got Chris Bass in here with us as well. So, Chris, you can chime in anytime. But what you just described is nothing more or less than the old pimp game, establishing a habit, whether it's with drugs or financial habit,
right,
of delivering whatever it is they're delivering, unknowingly to this child, what they're doing. But the benefits is the payoff. Now,
right,
how do we combat when this young person is delivering a product, not participating in the product necessarily, but delivering a product and getting paid handsomely, maybe making more money than mom and dad? How do you tell them that's not a good idea, son or young lady?
Here's how you do it. Here's how you do it. Because you
can't tell them to go get a job for $10 at McDonald's.
No, that's okay. But listen, here's what I can do. I can show them. You can show them. You can not just statistics. You can show them pictures of the people who are in the penitentiary for doing what they did, and eventually your luck runs out.
Yeah,
and especially, I mean, you might be able to get away with it because you're a juvenile for a certain period of time. But today they're locking up juveniles and treating them as adults.
Yes.
So therefore, I mean, that's out the window because a lot of dope dealers were using that as an escape.
Right.
Get a kid, and if he gets caught, he's too young.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, they're locking kids up today.
So you got to use the end game. I said, this is where you're going to end up. This
is where you're going to end up.
Yeah.
Right. And introduce them.
But see, a lot of these kids, I've talked to a few, they say, I don't care, man, what they're going to do to me. I'm in there with my boys.
Okay, tough Tony. Okay, tough Tony. I hear you talking all that tough Tony. You tough Tony now.
Uh-huh.
Where do you get in Angola, tough Tony?
Right.
Tough Tony, when you get in Angola, you're going to be, Mama. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. I don't want to hear that, man.
Yeah.
All them tough, my mom used to say, all bad niggas in Boot Hill.
Yeah, right.
All bad. You know what I'm saying?
The dead ones. Yeah.
Right. They dead.
That's right. Yeah.
You gonna say you think you're bad? Right.
Yeah. Right.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Maybe taking some of these kids before you give them a record and take them through the whole judicial system, pull them off the streets and let them spend a weekend in the joint.
That'll give them reality,
and
man.
treat them like they're going to be treated.
That'll give them reality, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
What do you think, Chris?
No, yeah, well, first of all, it's great to be on the same wavelength and airwaves of Guy Brody. Thank you, Guy. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you, brother.
That's Chris Mason.
I was listening to. Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, I've known a guy through the industry and heard great things about him. That that experience you had back in L.A. when you were younger, man, I would have got in on that, but that's just me, man. Well, I appreciate your honesty on that.
Right.
Hey, man. When you said earlier about talking to children, talking to younger people, as you know, we all have free will.
Right.
And so these guys and gals out there, younger people, they know what they're getting into. I think what happens is that you have to have an example, like I said before. Remember there was a TV program, they have it on cable now, Scared Straight.
Yeah.
Right.
And you put them in element, you just said before, say like a weekend, have them do some time in a real prison.
Right.
That could be an eye-opener. Because it's the illusion, it's the attractiveness of the street, of the drugs and money, and that could be obviously the draw. But the payback is when you get caught and doing the time.
Right.
I had a friend of mine years ago, God bless his soul, named Abe. And Abe used to be a part of the Black P. Stone Nation's gang members. He was a Stone for a while. And unfortunately got arrested. Mm-hmm. And we were childhood friends. And he told me while he was in the joint, had it not been for the Stones, because for one thing, he didn't get raped, thank God, because they protected him.
Right.
Yeah.
And they steered him into education. It's like, we're going to be here for the rest of our lives. You got 7 years to get your life right. And they would stay on him about his education, and he got one, and he became a truck driver. And my point is, be careful what you wish for, you just might get it. Mm-hmm. So you're talking about the drugs and the glamour and everything else, there's a price to pay. You may not pay for it now, but you're going to pay for it someday.
Right. And that's what these kids don't understand. And listen, just in my own life, I had a successful broadcast career, and I reached spots that I never dreamed that I would reach. I made more money than I ever thought was possible. Mm-hmm. And just reflecting on my own life, I got to a point where, okay, I'm rolling. This shit ain't never going to stop. It's like hip-hop. It don't stop, but it does stop. At some point, you're going to hit the apex, the tip of that career move, and then you're going to go back down the other side. So what these kids got to understand is there is a max. And when you hit that top, the plateau to be able to sustain that lifestyle forever is impossible. Mm-hmm. You're going to go down. And that slide going down is not pretty.
Right.
It's very rough, and chances are you're not going to be able to recover from that. Mm-hmm. And that's what they got to understand. We got to paint that picture and get them to understand that there's no upside on the downside.
Right. That's why I said it starts with people like you, me, Chris, to mentor kids and to actually tell them, they've got to be able to, because they're not, again, like I said, they're not seeing doctors and potential lawyers and stuff in their neighborhood, man. They're seeing dope dealers riding big cars, have all the girls, and, throwing money around. Right. You know what I'm saying? So
and I want to be like that.
I want to be like that. So they've got to see Lee Michaels driving his SUV. All leather, by the way. Not pleather. Love.
You can smell it.
You got to smell like a cow up in there. You know what I'm saying?
She was in there last night.
I got up and I said, moo. You know what I'm saying?
Moo, baby. Moo.
I said, Lee got Frappuccino sitting in there. They got to see this.
Yeah.
See, brother, people in their hood, they got somebody that ain't got a car, or you got a hoopty, and he got a gas can trying to run game on somebody to get some more gas. Then this is what they're saying. This is their life, man. That's their life.
Yeah,
so
we gotta stop that.
Yeah.
I think we have a caller on the line. Who do we have on the line?
Hello, sir. How are you?
Oh, that's Lord have mercy. What's up, Lord? What's going on with you, man?
I'm listening to your conversations, and I'm looking at all these people, the drug dealers and whatever. They've always existed in all ages. You had them when you was coming up. The people you saw that had money, be those the gamblers, maybe not the pushers at the time, but they still exist, and they still fantasize. You know, they still bring fantasies in youth life. Okay, I want that. How do I get that?
True.
You know, I feel like the biggest problem of this today is the TV series Empire. It's about a dope dealer who takes his drug money and do good and make an empire. Okay?
Well,
That's nothing but Superfly. That's nothing but all that other stuff before. It's the same formula. And there really is no escape. The only escape there is family intervention.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that's going to keep them off. Because if you go to the glamour and glitz,
yeah,
you ain't got nobody, it attracts you. But if you got strong mothers and fathers, or just a simple brain to realize dope dealers die, okay?
Yeah, I mean, in my lifetime, I grew up in Virginia, in Norfolk. My dad died when I was 13. So my mom and two sisters, we had to survive on our own. And I think we all turned out pretty good because we kept true to our values. And there were pimps and there were guys that, were walking down the street looking cool. I never said that I wanted to do that because my mom would tell me, and my dad, before he died, my dad would say, "Boy, that's not the lifestyle you want to lead." I said, "Well, he sure is dressed up kind of nice there, Pops." He goes, "Well, yeah, but he ain't doing it right." Okay? And I said, "Okay." Well, they taught me and pointed me in a direction that I was able to stay on, even with my mom being a single mom for the rest of my life. She never remarried. But I had other family members, uncles and aunts and cousins that stepped up.
Yeah, believe here. That's that again. Mm-hmm. It's not like that though. You got with all due respect. I mean that's hey, you need some intervention from parents. Yeah. That sounds like Fox News. The truth of the matter is they don't have the parents at these homes are not there. They're not. They don't have a mom and dad in that home. Yeah. Either the dad is on drugs or the mom is on drugs or both are on drugs and the grandmother's raising them and she's almost 100 years old.
Yeah.
And why do you think our neighborhoods, I can go to my own neighborhood where I grew up in Baltimore and it looks like a bomb was dropped on it today. And it was a great neighborhood. But what I submit to you is it's because of the people that live there, my mom, other people's mom, they're dead and gone.
Yeah.
Okay?
And
the new crew cannot you don't have somebody to pass the baton to, Lee.
Yes.
They're not prepared.
They dropped the ball.
They're not prepared to carry that baton. That's just a fact.
You're right.
And until we face that, you're kidding yourself.
That's true. You're right. I mean, I agree with you. And it's the same situation in my hometown, in my neighborhood, in Lindenwood, section in Norfolk. It's not the same neighborhood that I grew up in.
Man.
It was a middle-class black neighborhood.
Yeah, of movers and shakers.
Yes. The people that lived there were teachers, lawyers, grocery store owners, principals, postal workers, worked for the government jobs. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
I mean, you can leave your door open all night long.
Right. Can't
you can sleep with your windows open. Not now.
Not now. I'm just saying, man.
And so that's part of the problem.
Man.
It does hurt.
It hurts. It hurts.
It destroys a community, a city, a county, the state, and now the nation is polluted with crazy.
Right. And it's easy for Fox News to get there and say, well, where's the mother and father? Man, get out of here, man. It's so systemic of the conditions that you've placed a bunch of black folks in. What are you talking about? Where's the mother and father? You know where they are. They're in jail or they're on crack.
Yeah.
And the opioid crisis that you have now, only reason that's so big now because it's affected white kids.
Yeah, it's true. It is true. Now
when crack was destroying families, where was the outrage then?
No,
it wasn't an outrage. You know why? Because it
didn't affect them.
It didn't affect them. It didn't affect them.
Yeah, It didn't get serious with crack because they seen blonde-haired, blue-eyed girls.
Right.
Yeah. I even had
So where you in from? Nothing. I'm telling you, well, what you got in your hand? You smoke crack? A white girl? Time to stop this stuff now. It's out of control.
Yeah, well, that's when it hits home, when the people in power, when their sons and daughters come home with these issues, then they say, oh, shit, we got to do something about
Those issues
this.
are shit missing.
But it wasn't important, and it wasn't talked about when truckloads of the stuff was dropped off in the black neighborhoods and the Latino neighborhoods. It was a purpose for doing that.
Right.
Same thing with
that's their problem.
This president's going to do, he's going to go after the drug dealers. I wonder how many doctors he's going to take. He's talking about opioid. Okay, he ain't talking about the crack man on the street.
Right.
He talking about opioid. Yeah, you're going to get some, just like they invaded your lawyer's office, you're going to have to do that to some white men.
Right.
And they ain't ready to do that.
Right. Until they start knocking these doctors off, they're going to continue to have a problem. And that they're going to trust me. They're going to start knocking these doctors off. I think they're going to start knocking them off. And guess what? I mean, doctors are just like dope dealers because they've gotten accustomed. they've gotten accustomed to selling opioids, OxyContin, and all that kind of nonsense. And guess what? Just like a heroin dealer gets comfortable with the money he's making off of that, and he keeps at it until he goes to jail. These doctors, believe me, man, that money is a habit. And you get strung out on that money, and it's not that they haven't made enough. It's that they just can't stop. They get addicted to making that money. Just like gambling is an addiction. All that foolishness is an addiction, man.
That's right. And then the pharmaceutical promoters, the people that come around to the doctor offices every week.
Say, right.
They got a little.
I got some new stuff, man. I got some new stuff, right.
Recommend this to your patients.
Right, recommend this to your patients.
And you know that seminar that's coming up in Puerto Rico, we got you. Don't worry about it.
Right.
We're going to take care of all that for you.
Right, we'll take care of all that for you.
Yep. Let me say hello to Chuck King. He says, how come we know this and 45 doesn't?
Right.
No, 45 knows.
Right.
He knows, but he doesn't care. It doesn't affect him and his family.
Right.
And he's part of the pimping. Okay, he's on the pimp side of this.
Right.
Directly or indirectly, 45 and other powerful multi-billionaires profit from all of this foolishness.
Right.
Whether it's the prison system, the pharmaceutical business, the banking industry, Wall Street, it doesn't matter.
Right.
This is all legal stuff that they're all profiting from.
Right.
And it's hurting the communities that we live in. Mark Young.
Absolutely.
What's up, Mark? And a happy belated birthday. No, we're off. He says, Lee, I'm in the house like a child on punishment with Guy Brody. You know Mark, don't you?
Who that?
Mark Young, the young MC.
Young MC, come on, man.
Down in Florida.
Right.
From Chicago. So yeah, man, it's just the way it is.
Right.
And we have to change that, and we have an opportunity to change it. In this year, November 6, 2018, that's the beginning of the change by voting out these clowns in Congress.
Right.
And Paul Ryan today announced that he's going to give up the gavel.
Well, he's already kind of played around and said.
Yeah, he's in trouble in his own home state, so.
Yeah. Right.
So he's going to walk away with his head up.
Right.
He knows the butt whipping was coming.
Right.
Well, when you say that you direct bloodline of Jesus, you knew you was in trouble anyway.
Paul Ryan look like he look like grandma, don't he?
Yeah.
He look like grandma.
No, that's Mitch McConnell.
Well, Jeff Sessions.
Jeff too.
Paul.
They all look like those look like grandmothers here.
Yeah, but he looks like the speaker. He looks like if you take his hair away. And that no mouth it looks like he doesn't have any teeth until he starts talking.
Right.
He has that old look. You just put a gray wig on him, man. He would look like an old lady because he has that sunken in. His mouth sinks in. He doesn't look like he has any lips or teeth.
Yeah, that's
true. I can see that. Yeah.
Right. He looked like an old lady, man. I said, golly, Paul Ryan, give me a break. You know?
Well, let me say this on the side note, because I was listening to you guys on the way in Lee's style of fashion when he picked you up from the airport. I did catch the fact that I'm very happy for you guys to have a reunion for K-Day, but let's not miss this. And I will also thank Eddie Cox in the chat room, because I thought about the same thing. April 11th, we lost Doug Banks 2 years ago.
Wow, that's right.
The same day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll have to remind the guys at the meeting today about that.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I remember
2
you was
years
called
ago today.
Yeah, you call a guy Dan Riothead. I was like, damn, that's the Doug reference.
Yeah, but
And then he passed away.
Yeah,
you know?
we both.
Oh, you did?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we both got that nickname from Lee.
Doug had the south side and Brody had the north side of
Right.
the Dan Ryan.
Right. Right.
You had to cover those territories, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah. And they came together at the S curve.
Right. Right.
Oh, no.
Man, look, man, I tell you, Doug, I saw Doug and I talked to him not long before he passed, because when he told me he was going to do cruise, he was going to do his cruise.
Uh-huh.
Okay, right.
When he told me he was going to do the cruise, I pretty much had dealt with the fact that he had made or was comfortable in what happened in the results.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
In my mind, after talking to him, and after talking to him about how it was as far as going to the machine during the week and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
and,
dialysis.
Right. When he told me that he was going to make that cruise, I knew that was
Dan.
That was the end, man, because you're telling me how you're doing 3 days a week, I'm talking about on land. I mean, here in the States, you're talking about you're going to do this cruise?
Yeah.
Well, I knew he was going out the way he wanted to go out, man.
Yeah.
And you got to respect people, and when they do things, he wanted to do it the way he wanted to do it.
Right.
And you got to honor. I honor people. I remember Minnie Riperton. I flew from Chicago to D.C. I'm sorry, from L.A. to Chicago. Mm-hmm. And Minnie Riperton was on, and Dick Rudolph, her husband, they were on the flight. Mm-hmm. And she gave me her number, because I said, man, I've been playing your music since Loving You.
Yeah.
I've been playing Loving You. I said, I've been crazy about you. I'm talking about from when I first got in radio.
Right.
I was crazy about. Are you kidding me? Right. She was the nicest, most beautiful, humble, sweet person you ever want to meet. Mm-hmm. Gave me her phone number. Never said anything about being sick or getting ready. Having dealing with cancer seriously.
Sure.
And I talked to her one day. When I got back home. Called her. Pleasant and everything. But she died less than 30 days later. Wow. And she never said or put out any kind of flag
that she was
like
ill.
She was suffering or sick or anything.
Yeah.
Because I don't think she wanted that.
Yeah.
She didn't want it.
And you have to respect
You have to respect that, man.
Yeah, yeah.
I've just noticed that from people that I've lost, and I said, man, and of course I'm being selfish because if I think if you'd have let me know, I would have wanted to just spend a whole lot more time with you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Selfish.
Yeah.
But it's not like I didn't have good time with her anyway.
Exactly.
I mean, and
at least you had an opportunity to meet her.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I never got a chance to meet Minnie. I played music, but I never had a chance to meet her.
Right.
Yeah. Same with Donnie Hathaway. I never got a chance to meet him either.
Right. I never got a chance to meet Donnie.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, man.
Here's the thing. But here's the thing, guy.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with being selfish because you love them so much.
Right.
And when you embrace somebody like that, you don't want anything to happen to them.
Right.
You don't want them to go or leave or die. You want them close to you.
Right.
And when we talk about Doug, for example, when I was coming up in radio here in Chicago, going to Columbia College Chicago to study broadcasting, always said Doug Banks was my David Letterman. And to explain that, people who are in the comic field now always talk about David Letterman as their benchmark. And so you look at David Letterman, who he thought the benchmark was Johnny Carson. So it's generational. So for me, as an upcoming broadcaster, the excitement, the passion, how Doug would fill the speakers was larger than life. I wanted to be Doug Banks from that personality perspective.
Yeah.
Right.
Because he was the man.
Yeah, he
Right.
was.
Right.
And I got a chance to know him personally.
Right. He was
And when I was back at ABC, oh my God. It's just look, I became fanboy again. I told my friends I got Doug Banks' cell phone number in my phone.
Right.
It was huge.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I loved him for that. He was just a great dude, man.
And
I
he
think
would-
I think I
fantastic.
still got his cell phone.
I know
in my
I do.
phone.
Yeah.
I haven't got. I've never cleared it out.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've got Jerry Bowling.
Jerry Bowling, right,
I mean, I don't know why do we keep him.
Right.
We're gonna call him
Right.
later. or what?
Right.
But out of respect,
Right.
I think
That's right.
I think everybody that I ever had a cell phone number on that has passed on, I still have.
Hey, look, man.
And every day I go through my phone book, it brings that memory back.
Hey, look. In the Bahamas, I think it was BRE. Sydney had a BRE down there.
Uh-huh.
I think you were there, Lee.
Oh, I didn't go to the one in the Bahamas.
You
No.
sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Huh?
Yeah.
I don't know, Lee.
Oh,
nah,
no.
you
That
did.
was an imposter. That wasn't me.
Nah, man.
It kind of looked like me.
Nah, man. That was you, man, because Kathy
Oh, man,
Hughes
tell
was
the
there.
story, guy.
Kathy Hughes was there. Kathy Hughes was there. You don't remember that, man? Yeah,
Now you know he was there.
Yeah, he was there. Man, absolutely was there.
I don't remember,
I
man.
saw Lee. Get out of here.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, you were there, man.
In the
Yeah, you were
Bahamas.
there. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely, yes. Of course you were there. Because Kathy Hughes was there. Are you kidding me?
Was I
And
working
that's-
for Kathy then?
Huh?
Was I working
Oh,
with her?
yeah, man. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, man.
Well,
yeah.
see, I'm a senior citizen,
I
so
saw,
I'm subject to forget.
I saw Doug, right? So I saw Doug, and this is what I'm gonna share this with you. Doug showed me a pay stub. Doug showed me a pay stub. he showed me a pay
Was it
stub.
the choking kind?
Hey, look, this Negro was making like 75 grand every 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
So let me tell you something, man. So I looked at the pay stub. He showed it to me, and I got fired in Chicago behind Doug running up a hotel bill at the Palmer House Hotel. So look, he showed me that check stub. I said, nigga, this is a stick up.
He wanted to rob him, huh?
I want to rob that Negro. I want to rob him. I said, what? Man, I said, what? I said, you big Dan Ryanhead. I said, man, are you kidding me? Oh, yeah, man. I
Yeah,
said,
he was making
yeah,
he was making loot.
he making loot, boy.
Now, was he working doing the syndication at that point, or where was he working? You remember?
Yeah, he was doing the syndication.
Yeah, he was
He
with
was making
ABC.
loot, bro. He's making
Yeah.
75 grand for 2 weeks, bro. I said, man, you give me one check, Doug, and you ain't got to hear from me ever. Just give me one,
One
and I'm going
check.
to get straight. Just give me one. Just give me one of your checks and just donate that. You know what I mean? I'm straight.
You won't miss it.
And you don't miss it. I said,
Yeah.
every two, are you kidding me, man?
That's a lot of loot.
Right.
That's $150 a month.
I mean, but Doug spent money too, though. You know.
Oh, Doug, he lived large.
Right, he lived long.
He had a nice place down there in
Right.
Texas. And,
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
he earned it.
People talk that foolishness, man. You know, well, you don't need all that. Shut up. You ain't got but $5. I guess you don't need all that because you can't afford all that. If you got all that, you ain't gonna
wouldn't
be
be
sitting
saying
around
that.
buying $5 stuff. You ain't going to the dollar store. Man, sit down somewhere. You know what I mean?
It'll change your life.
Right.
Yeah.
It'll change your life, man.
Yeah, no question about that. No question.
Shoot, I used to go to Dino's here in L.A. On Sunset.
Uh-huh.
It used to be,
Is that the pizza place?
nah, ain't no pizza place, man. That's where they used to do 77 Sunset Strip.
Oh,
Dino,
yeah.
Dean Martin's place.
Right,
Used
right.
to have the best steak and lobster in the town in that mug. And I used to go up in there because I used to remember watching 77 Sunset Strip as a kid.
Yeah.
You know,
I remember that show.
77 Sunset Strip. Right. And that restaurant, man, that food was off the chain.
I never went to Dino's.
You never went there?
No.
Man, that food was great. That food was great. It was great. Yep.
Let me say hello to Butch Grimes. I didn't make the NAB this year. I thought about it, but and Mark said you worked together at 92Q.
Oh, yeah, I worked in 92Q.
Yep. Yeah, Mark said he was there with you.
Oh, wow.
You don't remember Mark Young?
Oh, wow.
Young MC. Yeah, man, I saw your birthday yesterday, Mark. I had to give you a shout out, of course. I tell you what, we're gonna wrap up the show here. We kind of extended the video portion of it beyond our normal cutoff time at noon, but we kind of started late because the Dan Ryan head boy his plane was late coming in. Supposed to have been in at 9:25 and it was delayed or whatever. Then he had to go through customs.
You had a new time going on.
He had to go through customs because they thought he was an immigrant. He was coming from Atlanta. So they had to pat him down, and make sure he was straight.
No,
in the
that
fridge.
ain't happy because he's still with
In the
me. He
fridge.
will still not be happy.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right, folks, we'll be back tomorrow right here at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And thanks so much for tuning in. It's always good to get with cats that are in the radio business. It's impossible for us not to talk about it. And we're celebrating today here in Los Angeles the get together of 1580 K Day, and one of our mastermind, the mastermind of 1580 K Day is Jim Maddox, so we'll be there with him today. And Guy flew in from Atlanta just to be here, part of this reunion. And it sounds like they want to do this often. They're already talking about another one in September.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So it'll be a good time to get together with all the cats that worked at that station, which is still one of the great R&B stations of all time. Bar none.
Right.
I mean, you got WWRL in New York, WOL in D.C., CHB in BL. What's the one in Detroit? JLB,
right.
VON, BMX, GCI, and KDIA, WDIA, and I could go AOK in Atlanta. Now V103 is the big dog. I could go on and on and on, but this station, 1580 K Day, kind of laid the groundwork for all of the other great, well-formatted, well-programmed, successful stations in America. And that was through the eyes and mind of Jim Maddox, a great programmer.
I worked at OL.
He sucked as a DJ, but he was a good
Yeah,
programmer.
he was good PD. He was a good program director.
Yeah.
He was a good program director.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why you say he sucked as a DJ? Was he that bad?
No, he was horrible.
wasn't that bad.
He was horrible. Come on. Don't be
he
scared.
wasn't that bad.
He ain't going to fire you again.
Right, again. Right.
Again.
Right.
We got to roast him today.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got to roast him. So when I talked with him, he said there were going to be like 3 different sections where we'll all kind of be on the ground floor there at the, what's the hotel? Roosevelt.
Right.
So that's where we'll be hanging out today at 4 o'clock. So if you were a former K-Day person or a friend of K-Day, you're welcome to come hang out with us. And so we're going to sign out. We'll be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. Guy Brody will be on.
I understand some KGFJ folks will be there, too.
Yeah. We're all welcome.
Walt Love is going to be there.
Oh, great, man. I haven't seen Walt in 15 years or more.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I understand he's remarried.
Walt Baby Love.
Walt Baby Love.
Yeah. I think there was only 2 babies in the country, me and Walt. I was Lee Baby Michaels because I was the youngest at KATZ in 1973, so they gave me the baby.
I was Guy Baby Brody.
You were? I didn't know you were a baby.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Kitty Brody's pride and joy. Her baby boy.
Her bouncing baby boy.
Right.
Bouncing.
Right.
That was up in what, Baltimore?
In Baltimore, yeah.
Okay, yeah. B. Moore turned out some good personalities.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. They had some, these guys used to be named Fat Daddy.
Fat Daddy.
King Fat Daddy.
I met Fat Daddy after he became a record guy.
promoter?
Yeah, he was
Paul
Motown.
Johnson.
Paul Johnson.
Yeah. Boy, he's bad. He's a bad dude, man.
Yeah, oh yeah.
One of the baddest dudes of all time.
I used to listen to him.
One of the baddest dudes of all time.
In Norfolk.
Right.
You could pick up the station down in Norfolk.
He was a bad dude. Man.
Oh, yeah.
Fat Daddy, are you kidding me? His whole act was just just unbelievable.
Amazing.
King Fat Daddy.
King Fat Daddy.
King Fat Daddy.
Not just Fat
Your
Daddy.
Lord, your Lord, your lead, your mighty Kumba, your Utiddly Tetson, Upapa Ketson. That's what he used to do, man. Oh man, are you kidding me?
See, those were the original rappers, right? Isn't that where it all stemmed
That's
from?
where it all started.
Yeah.
People like Fat Daddy and
that's
Hot
true.
Rod.
Yeah.
You remember Hot Rod? Do you remember that?
Yeah. We're finishing up now. What you
remember
need? Oh, okay.
You remember Hot Rod?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. Soul Papa.
Right. Hot Rod is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Really?
He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Hot Rod.
Hot Rod.
Now he was he used to get he had a copyright on Great Googa Mooga.
Really?
That was his.
And he got a copyright on
It
it.
was copywritten for Hot Rod.
Wow.
Great Googa Mooga.
I like that.
Wow. Who coined the phrase "burn, baby, burn"?
That was Adam Clayton Powell.
No.
Montague.
Montague. The
Montague
magnificent
did that
Montague.
at KGFJ.
Yeah.
He did that.
Doing
I know
the riots.
he did that during. I thought Adam did it first though.
Really? I always heard that it came from the magnificent Montague
I heard
during the
Adam-
riots, the
I heard
Watts
Adam.
riots.
You know.
Maybe it was Adam, and maybe he got it from Adam.
But Montague, I know Montague made it famous.
Yeah, okay,
But
maybe that's what it was.
I think Adam Clayton Powell actually coined the phrase.
Okay.
and Montague made it famous.
Famous.
though,
Okay.
You know.
Maybe that's
right.
the
Right.
story. All right, folks, we're out of here. We're going to talk to you tomorrow, 10 a.m. right here on thepowerofvoices.com, Facebook, YouTube, and you never know. We might be somewhere else as well.
Yeah.
And Guy, good hanging out with you
Hey,
today, man. We're going to
man,
have
I enjoyed it, man.
a great day,
Yes, sir.
a historic day
Right.
to see you hang out with our buddies.
Right.
All right, God bless y'all. Take care. You too, Chris. We'll see you tomorrow. You going to be in?
All right. Y'all be in tomorrow. Enjoy your reunion, man. Sounds
Yeah,
great.
man. It's going to be fun.
All right, Chris.
All right, sir. Nice meeting you, Guy.
Okay, brother.
Take care now.
You got it,
All
brother.
right,
Thanks.
we're out. Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., powervoices.com.